when converting a fraction to a percent, the first thing we're going to do is divide the fraction. And then we're going to go ahead and move the decimal to the right twice. Then to convert a percent to a fraction, we're going to put the percent over 100, essentially over 100%, because then you can get rid of the percentage sign then. And then we're going to reduce the fraction if possible. So let's go ahead and look at the first example. So example 1, if the U-Haul location has 35% of their vans and trucks rented out one day, how can that be represented as a fraction? So we're going to go 35%. The first thing we're going to do is put it over 100%, right? Gets rid of the percentage. Then we're just going to reduce the fraction. So we reduce by just dividing the top and bottom by 5. So 35 divided by 5 is 7. 100 divided by 5 is 20. And that would be our reduced fraction. Let's go ahead and look at the second example. Example 2. What is 57% represented as a fraction? So we're going to go 57%. I'm going to go ahead and divide it by 100%. Right? Gets rid of the percentages. We're just left with our fraction. Right? 57 over 100 because that's a reduced fraction. There's nothing else we can reduce it by. Now, let's go ahead and look at the next example. So example 3, a restaurant has $750,000 expenses last year. The rent on the building for the year was $60,000 of the total. So at the restaurant last year, the rent was what percent out of the total expenses? So first we need to set the fraction, right? So we need to put 60,000 over 750,000, right? And we couldn't do the money sign, but they will just cancel out. So now we have it set up as our fraction. So what we're going to do is divide, right? We're going to go 60,000 divided by 750,000. And we get 0.08. Well, that's a decimal, and what do we need? We need to know percent, right? And so we just go ahead and multiply it by 100%. And we get 8. So what does that become? It becomes 8%. Now let's go ahead and look at the last example. Example 4. If one stated that 3/8 of a forest was on fire, how could that be represented as a percent? Right? Well, 3 over 8. We're just going to go ahead and divide 3 divided by 8. And we get 0.375. Then we're going to go ahead and just multiply it by 100% to get us our percent. And we get 37.5%. And that would be our solution.